Welcome to Find You Fridays. It's Friday. Happy days. Oh, yay, it's finally popped through. Facebook reconnected itself. Yay, happy days. Excellent times. Yay, let's jump out here. Okay, times. There. Hello, Melinda. Hello, darling. How are you, my sweet friend? Hello. We had an interesting thing going wobbly with the back end, but that's okay. We're all good. How's your week been, Melinda? Hopefully it's been going well. I've had some really cool stuff happen this week, actually. I've had lots of interesting things have popped up in my world, which is great. But one of the fun things that I'll tell you, because it's you and I, is I made my own set of runes. Yay. So we get to play with those now. They've now got my energy through every single little part of them because I have created them using, let me grab some out for you so you can see. I've got the three versions. So the 3-8, which is like the 3 Norse gods. And so like the pinky ones are from Freya's set. And then, oh, that's so funny. I did not do this on purpose. The so that's a pink one, right? And this is the more pale pink or slightly browny set. That is from Hagar's set. And then Taya is this color. It's sort of a dark bluey kind of color, blue-black. These are all made using flower petals. Like they've got flower petals as the thing that's inside them. So this is like got little baby's breath that was dyed pink. And these other two are rose petals. So that was like a pink rose petal. You can see a little bit of it up on the top corner there. And this was actually dark red rose petals, and when they dried they went to this funny, like almost bluey, not black but bluey color. Cool. Hey, so and then they are made with polymer clay, so they had to bake them, and so I had to put all the little symbols so they're actually etched in there. And then today I have painted them so I can see them very, very clearly. And they're nice and light and they're fun. They're a good size, you know. So, yeah, I've been creative this week. I've got my little bag, put them in. My dragon book was over there with its thing. So you ended up being called in 3 times this week. That's fantastic news, Melinda. Fabulous. That's good. Good for the pay packet. Yeah, you know, they've come out really, they fit in my hands, like if I'm jiggling them in my hands like that. And they're not too noisy either. And the other thing with the temporary ones that I used last week was that they're not see-through. And because what I was finding when I was using them, even for myself, is that it wasn't as easy for me to pick out the ones that were relevant because they were see-through. So I was literally seeing both sides at once. So funny. So funny. Hello, Tamara. Hello. Hopefully you got to see the runes. Maybe they'll pop out later on tonight. I've got a house inspection on Tuesday, so I great way to use up my sick leave at work. It's like, woohoo! Got my inspection on Tuesday. Can I use my sick leave? Yep. Sweet, thank you. Helps use up heaps of that because I've got like 60 hours left. I'm like, how the hell do I use that up? And my boss knows I don't get sick. So it's like, oh yeah. Woohoo. So today it's been about lots of cool things. Like I've done my weeding, the finer weeding, and I knew that I had to put some manure in today. I'd bought some chicken poop manure. So I'd got that and I put that through the garden where I'm going to be planting some more things and thinning out some flowers and stuff. So I've got that in there now and watered it in, and I know this weekend it's supposed to be wet. So I'm like, cool, make sure we get that going. And then this week I've been thinking it. So I got a bench. It's a steel frame with a bench top on it. And from this house where everything was going in a skip bin. And I was like, can I have this? And they're like, yeah, sure. And I was like, sweet, chuck that in my car. And but the thing is, the bench was so tall, I needed to take 7 inches off of the feet and to bring it down. But it was made out of steel. And so I was like, how am I going to get these legs chopped down? I don't have an angle grinder. It's one of those tools that I don't have. I don't have a lot of metalworking tools. I've got a lot more woodworking tools, but not metalworking tools. So I asked somebody if they were able to help me, and they were like, no, I don't have the tools for that anymore. And I was like, oh, bummer. And then while I was out, this was last night, I asked them. And then today while I was out doing the weeding, I heard my next door neighbor using an angle grinder. And I was like, oh, I wonder if they'd be willing to help. And it's like, yeah, sure, just draw a line around it where you want me to cut it and no problem. So off I toddled, drew the line, had it cut up. Now I can put my bench together. So yay, because I was using a camping table as my bench for my compound slide miter saw. And it's not the most stable thing. So I'm very happy to have it that all sorted out today too. So that's great. My weeding is done. I've done a bit of watering of my garden. I finished my runes today. It's been a good day. Been a very, very, very good day. And I feel nice and energized. It has been a bit of a rough week energy-wise, I will admit. Part of that was because I was just not sleeping enough, but you do what you do, right? I was enjoying the company of many people this week, and it's been good to do so. But today I had a stay-at-home day, and it was really lovely. So just shuffling these cards up for the collective reading for the 20th through to the 26th of September. And which of course means that we've moved over from, what is that? This week we'll be moving over from Virgo to Libra. Virgo to Libra. That's right. Being my brother's birthday on the 2nd of October, he's a Libra. That's easy to remember. Yes, so we've got some interesting energies coming up. Also this week, of course, we have the solar eclipse, so the second eclipse of the pair. That will be happening this week as well. So we've got a new moon on Sunday. We've got solar eclipse happening. We've got the change in the star signs, in the sun signs. There's lots of interesting energies coming up this week. So we'll see what's going to happen with these cards and see how they feel we should best play with these energies for the collective. And how's your week been, Tamara? Ooh, we've got jumpy jumpies. Okay, beautiful. That's enough of that one, apparently. Ooh. Okay. Alrighty. So, with all of these energies that are popping up, and up until the lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse, sorry, this first card is, I get a lot of that, the last little dregs of the last couple of weeks between the eclipses. It's the last little bits of all of the energies that are coming up with that, because the first card that we've got for the collective is life review. So obviously when it comes to our new moons, it's a bloody good time to do that anyway. Look at what energies are serving you, what are not, what points of views and belief systems do you have that are no longer serving you, and having that sort of like little cheer team behind you going, yes, you can do this, go for it, you're amazing, just release it, let it go. Because of course, as we step into the new moon energies, this is about building up the energy again. So we've had a slowing down from the full moon to the new moon, and this is the time of regeneration and nurturing and stuff. And then once you hit the new moon, it's about building it back up. That's why it's called a waxing moon, right? And so with that building back up, it's like the energy, the forward moving energy. This is the time why we do reviews. So it's kind of like performance review. New moons, full moons, that's a perfect time to do performance reviews. And this is what life review is all about. So definitely resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced in this time. With the lunar eclipse, you've also got those extra boosts for helping you to create and actualize your life how you desire it. Remembering, of course, that your words are very powerful. So if you have it in your mind that life sucks and everything's going to go bad, well, guess what you're going to get? So, but if you have faith that everything is going to work out just fine and everything is cool, and like the work that you require to do, the self-healing and all of that is going to keep moving through in a beautiful, gentle way, cool. And that you're supported in your journey, that's what's going to keep happening too. Okay? So be mindful of your words. Be mindful of your words. Beware of where you're focusing on the past rather than moving into the future, to where you're not being present in the now, moving forwards. Okay. Now, after new moon and moving into the week, we have victory. You made it through another eclipse pair. The next one's not for another 6 months. Woohoo! So just be aware that there'll be a lot of feeling of like lightness. Probably, let me think. I'm getting more so Tuesday onwards. It'll feel a lot lighter, a lot brighter. I have a funny feeling the eclipse happens on Monday, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But yes, the energies of everything are going to feel a lot more lighter, brighter, and you'll be like, yes, I'm actually getting somewhere at the moment. You'll feel a lot more positive and bright within yourself. Okay. And with that comes peace. So the more peaceful and the more you feel and trust everything is going to be just fine. Everything's happening for a reason. Things are, divinely created. The peacefulness, the safety within will increase. Okay, so if you're somebody who was like me a year ago, who was feeling very in survival mode, and thank you, Melinda. Equinox is on Tuesday as well. Woohoo! Yay! So if you're feeling like you've been in survival mode and all of that, and you're starting to work on not being there, your peaceful state is going to continue to increase this week. So that's excellent news as well. Like, it's kind of like you've been through your hardcore training and you get to have a little bit of like breathing space for a bit. And with that will come the peacefulness, and you'll probably find yourself observing nature a lot more. And you'll notice things like sunsets, sunrises, beautiful flowers. Given that we're here in the southern hemisphere and we're in the springtime now, you might find yourself noticing a lot more beautiful flowers and things, and gardens and growth. And, you know, if you happen to be near farmland, you might actually see the lambs and the calves bouncing around more so. And also observing things like rainbows and stuff like that, and not being quite so blinkered to the world around you. Okay. Ooh, moving some energy. Melinda, can you have a quick look for me and see when and what time we can see the solar eclipse in South Australia? Because I haven't looked it up. Well, I think I might have, but I think I also forgot to remember when that was happening. If you could have a look for that, that would be fabulous. Thank you. The fourth card that we have for the collective is teaching and learning. So keep an open mind and learn new ideas, and then teach these ideas to others. Over the years, I've had this card a lot. And this is how we ended up with the podcast. So with this one, don't be surprised if some new information, a new book, a new podcast, a new documentary, and all sorts of things may come into your world this later on in the week. Okay, from I'm getting Thursday, Friday, this energy is going to be a lot bigger. So be on the lookout, and when new information or new ideas comes your way, don't be so poo-pooing it. Just have a look at that, and you might actually pick up some really awesome information and be able to share it with others. And that would be fabulous. So teaching and learning for this week to come as well. We do love a good book, don't we? Let's have a look and see what our yummy card is. There's a cricket. And I think it's taken up residence underneath my back door. So we're getting cricket energies, and I'm like, you're really distracting to me, my friend. All right. So we've got this lovely little card coming up. It's called Purification. So this week to come, don't be surprised if you get headaches and a feeling of lethargy right at the start of the week. Okay. This is a sign from your body that you require to dump some toxins, and your body might be asking for slightly different food. It might be asking for clean, simple food, food that isn't highly manufactured and stuff like that. It might be asking for a lot more water and a bit of salt, because, water and salt in your water helps with your brain to detox and to dump out the toxic energy that has been floating around. Now, if you've done a lot of energy work and a lot of healing energy work, you will require salty water. And I'm not talking like sea salt, like amount of salt that you get in the ocean. I'm just talking about like a quarter of a teaspoon. Some people it's like enough for just a pinch. But like in my big 1 liter bottle, I'll use like a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, of Himalayan salt, or if I've got Celtic sea salt, because Celtic is really, really good too. So either. Yay, Melinda, thank you. Upcoming lunar eclipses visible from South Australia's 3rd and 4th of March 2026. Total lunar eclipse. Okay. Nope, it was this. Thank you, darling. That is beautiful. Total lunar eclipse is on August 17th, 2027. July 6th. Cool. Okay. Yeah, we've got this on the 22nd so I was correct. Partial solar eclipse in Australia. Okay, let's see, in South Australia. Okay, it looks like we won't be able to see the lunar eclipse. Brisbane, Sydney, Tassie will be able to see it, but unfortunately we won't. But that's okay. We'll still get the energy. So we'll still get the energy of it. So be aware that it'll be in the morning that it ends. So start 5:52 a.m. in the ACT, New South Wales, 5:43. All right. And then it will finish around 6-ish. So between 5 and 6 a.m. on the East Coast, there'll be the eclipse. So just be aware of that. So yeah, tomorrow you can see it for all of us. Between 5 and 6 a.m. on the 22nd. Okay. You'll only get to see a little sliver of it, but it's still, the effect of it will still be felt here. So just be aware of that and take note of if you're feeling a little bit wobbly or wonky on Monday morning, you'll know why. It's not just Monday-itis. So it's funny they're calling it the new moon solar eclipse. So I did save this from earlier. So this new moon isn't any new moon. It's a new moon solar eclipse because the new moon, being the new moon happens on Sunday, the solar eclipse happens Monday morning. So you can see why it's a new moon solar eclipse, right? And it's here to close karmic cycles, to release toxic patterns and clear clutter from your life. Old routines, habits, or relationships that no longer serve you are being swept away to make space for something far greater. Trust the timing, trust the process, and your next chapter is already unfolding. Be ready. And that was a write-up from The Spiritual Magic. Just to give the credit where credit is due. So yeah, don't be surprised if things feel a little wobbly Sunday night, Monday morning for us here in South Australia. And then, so yeah, we won't get anything until March next year. So we get the lunar eclipse again, but obviously we don't get the solar eclipse. Must be very rare for us to get solar eclipses, I wonder. I'm trying to think, when was the last time I did see a solar eclipse? It's been a long time. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. Oh, this is why. The next major solar eclipse will be that crosses South Australia will be a total solar eclipse on November the 25th, 2030. This will be why I haven't seen too many while I've been living here. That makes sense. Alrighty, Melinda, if you could pop your question in for your reading today, that would be lovely. Please, please, please. Which cards would like to come out and play with Melinda? Also, Melinda, do you have any specific issues that are going on for you at the moment? Because every reading tonight's going to get a little rune reading at the same time. So I'll do your cards and then I'll give you a little rune reading as well. Because I'd like more practice. Okay, let's see. Oh, I love shuffling these cards. They're so nice. The way the cards feel in your hand makes such a difference, doesn't it, ladies? Like, it's just, oh, there are some cards that feel absolutely awful when you shuffle them, and others are just like, the bliss. All right. I'll see which way your team would like to go on that one. I just had a whole bunch go. It actually feels like these cards are saying, oh, we're so excited because you haven't played with us for a couple of weeks. Oh, they're being hilarious today. Yeah, some are. Some are really, really difficult to shuffle. I do find sometimes that big, huge one with the animal tarot, that one, that's hard because my hands are not that big. I still do it for you guys. If your team says no, that's the word I wish to play with, I'm like, okay, I can do it for you. But it's tricky. Ooh, okay. see if there's any other little spots of wisdom in there that I require to know to pass on. Okay. Oh yeah, like there's this set here, which is absolutely just so basic and stuff. The cards themselves are actually, oh, where are they? Here. The cards themselves are actually very informative, but they've been cut in, it's almost like a serrated blade, you know, not a smooth blade. And oh, they are absolutely awful cards to shuffle. And so I very rarely use them. And in fact, the most significant time that I ever used them was the day that I went and I was so angry that I'd shuffled, that I was drawn to them. I was just angry about it, and I was asking for some advice. I wish I knew the runes back then, because that would have helped a lot. And and I was so pissed off that I was like, right, why am I standing here reading and using these bloody irritating cards when the information I know is right there? Just tell me already, you know? And that was the day I demanded to have access, like conscious access to my Akashic records. So sometimes these things pop up so that we will be so annoyed, and it's just like life, isn't it? So annoyed by whatever's going on around us that we will actually do or ask or make the demand of ourselves to be different and to choose something different. So those cards will probably not leave my collection for a very long time for the sentimental reason of the fact that they inspired me through their annoyingness to connect with my Akash. Oh. You turn them lengthwise. I shuffle like that. So this way. That would be too hard for me to shuffle if I was to go that way. I'd be like, oh, stretching my heart. Yeah, wow. Yeah, isn't it fun? We all do things differently, don't we? Alrighty, so the first card that we've got for you, Melinda, is Wisdom. So this card here is basically, okay, in your right hip, you have a lot of wisdom that is stuck in your right hip. And that wisdom, let me see if I can, what is that telling me, please? What are you trying to show me? So the wisdom that you have in your hip is relating back to another magical lifetime. Okay. And so being that it's from another magical lifetime, this energy is now asking to come forward now. So please start doing some meditation, and specifically asking or connecting with your team as to what information is being held in your hip, please. It's good stuff. It's all lovely things. And I also get that there is some information as to what's holding you back now. So I would highly recommend you do this over this weekend, just so that you can unblock that information flow and that the information, the wisdom that has been embedded into your body that is now ready to come out and be seen and heard. Now, the other thing with this is if you don't do that, there's a very good chance that you're going to have pain in your right hip. And that pain is going to intensify because this information is now ready to come back up to be acknowledged and absorbed by you. Now, this information may show up not necessarily as words, but as informational energy. Now, given that you do light language and stuff like that, I think that you'll get that and you'll be able to understand it and comprehend what the information is because you do work with energy already. So, and you comprehend energy. So please know that there's that. There's also right on your, where is that, please? Tailbone, but more so to the left-hand side of your tailbone. There's other information that's sitting in there as well. So your right hip and to the slight left of your tailbone, okay? Your next piece here is potential, which is the Himalayan blue poppy. Isn't that beautiful? So with this one, I'm getting that there is huge potential for you to create something very dynamic in your life that is going to contribute a lot, and it's going to speak to your heart. And that thing that you've always desired to do is closer now than ever before. This card is showing me to continue to have faith, okay? There's something that there's a big life-changing thing that's going to come into your world soon. And you've been asking for it for a really long time. And they're just basically saying, please don't give up faith. Have faith. Trust that it's still coming. There was a lot of work and a lot of background stuff that had to be done before it could come in. And now it's really very, very close. And often for a lot of people, when it's this close, that's when they actually give up hope. And so this card is saying, no, the potential is still there. Keep holding on. You got this. Okay. The next card that you have. See, this is what I mean. Success, which is jasmine. I love the smell of jasmine. So the success of, I just get the success of your life in general is really blossoming at the minute. And over the next 3 months, this is going to keep getting better and better and better. And this next 3 months is going to be a really big chance for you to grow and enjoy more of who you be in life, and you're going to feel less encumbered and very much more peaceful. So there's some really lovely energies as far as success goes. Now, to have this success, though, these next two cards are in relation to that. Okay. And this is the point of doing, connecting, that sort of thing. The first card is express yourself and cultivate your passion, right? So if you're not cultivating your passion and you're not expressing yourself, this card, the success card, is going to be a lot more difficult for you. So what is it that you're truly passionate about? And where could you express that? Where could you connect with others with it? And oh, that's making my head itch a lot. Tingle, tingle, tingle. All right. So whether that be in written form or connecting with others in a different kind of way, maybe in a whatever that is, I'm not going to put any projections or expectations on what that could be. There is definitely some really, really excellent energies though. And you have to be using your words. You have to be connecting with others now, okay? Because it is about cultivating, bringing it up, bringing it forward, all right? And with that, you have to think before you speak. Be exacting. And this is not only about your passion, this is about work. This is very much about your work. And that express your desires. Be very clear about what you require. And that's what they're saying. Be exacting. And sort of know that you are a valuable part of the team. Know that within yourself. You've done all your training. You've been working there for long enough. You're coming up almost 12 months. Not too far away because you're there around Christmas time last year. Yes, I know. I just spoke about Christmas and it's September. But it is. It's getting jolly close to 12 months for you, right? So you are a valuable member of the team. And approach it from that space of going, this is what I require and this is what's going to help me move through. House, relationship, no. Okay, cool. So there we go. Express yourself, think before you speak. You're going to have great success over the next three-ish months. All right. So, ooh, see? But you're already in there. You're not just a seasonal casual anymore. You've gone into the casual, permanent casual, which means you get first dibs, which is really fucking cool. All right. Okie dokie. One rune reading coming up. Yes. They're nice and quiet, these ones too. I like it. You see? Be exacting. So it's a little bit more like you can possibly be a bit more cheeky with that. And go, so when's my contract going to change to permanent part-time, eh? Oh, dearie me. Alrighty. So let me just double check. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. 1 3-card, 3 rune reading coming up. So what I asked was the issue is Melinda's love life. So that's what I was asking about. So let's see what the runes say about your love life. So this is the stuff from the past. Okay, this is the first one. And we've got this one here. All right. So this is Awensuns, okay, which is the letter A. And its main meaning is God chieftain, reference to the god Odin. The associations are mind, voice within, signals, inspiration, true vision, and self-knowledge. So this is the stuff from the past or the issue. And this is what, when I look at this card, the intuitive reading that I get, or information rather, is that in the past, you're having to learn how to be the chieftain of your own voice, how to stand up for yourself, how to see the true vision of where you're going. And that has been a bit of a struggle for you at times. And it's okay that it was all part of the learning. And that has been what has been major issue in the past, is speaking up and using your voice. It's not necessarily about seeing the signs and the signals. It's more about the voice thing for you. Okay, so that's the first part. So in that, and in relation to love life specifically, it's about speaking up and speaking to not only your potential partner, but also to yourself. What do you truly desire? Something that I did in the last month was I wrote down like all the things I like about being in relationship, wrote all the things I don't like about being in relationship. And I did put in my list there of, bearing in mind I was in survival mode at the time, where most of those things that came up about not wanting or not liking being in relationship, most of that came from that time, right? Still, there's valid information in there. That might be something that you might like to do, because it can give you quite a lot of insights as to what might be your stopping points, what might be holding you back from receiving a new person. And if that list of what you don't like is quite lengthy, it's quite easy to see where those blocks and stops might be coming in. And you can do some healing around that. You can, do some beautiful inner child work or whatever might be coming up. The second one, which is the opposing forces. So the opposing forces that are acting on the issue, or what the issue actually is. We have this lovely one, which is Gerald. And the interesting thing is that this is the harvest, the cycle of 1 year is what this one is talking about. But the associations are reward, gain, fruition, fruitful season, plenty, cycles of nature, peace, and happiness. So given that this is sitting in the middle, and this is talking about opposing forces and things like that, what the information that I'm getting is that you feel like you're running out of time, and that like you have so much to give, and that nobody's coming to pick the fruit. So there's that little bit of self-doubt floating around in there. There's a little bit of a space of not necessarily seeing how bountiful you are, and because and not necessarily seeing how, not really seeing your worth as much as it is there. You're developing it and it is getting better. But in regards to relationship, it's almost like, well, I don't know what I have to offer anymore. Because your old parameters of relationship are gone. And that's actually a really beautiful place to be functioning from, of just having the slate wiped clean, so to speak. But also having that moment of going, oh, I don't know what's happening and I don't know how this is going to rock through in my world. How is this going to fit into my world? Am I ready for it? Interesting. This is the possible outcome. Now, if you don't like what I said there, if you don't like what happened in that room, that's okay. This is the possible outcome of what I've just talked about. Now, this one is Kana Awazi, which is beacon and torch. Okay. So this is about creativity, awakening, growth, opening, illumination, and self-knowledge and vision. Okay. So if you develop your self-worth, if you recognize that you are an absolute fucking goddess and you have so much to offer with even just your presence, this is the possible outcome. And the outcome of being, awakening more so, and growth, and like there's this real sense of growth that is possible for you within relationship. And to get to the relationship side of things, you're going to have to really dig deep and find that safety within, so that then you can go, yeah, I am a valuable goddess who is able to have these relationships and be amazing. And to have a really clear idea of what would work for you in relationship, because obviously the what's happened in the past has happened in the past. that doesn't work. And so it's like, okay, what can I choose now? What would I choose if I was to have anything, any particular dynamic whatsoever that truly works for me? What would that look like? And this comes back to your voice stuff. All right. So you're going to have to get really clear about what is your most awesome dynamic. Now, for some people, it is living together. Other people, it's not living together, called the living apart, LAT, living apart together. Some people, it's part-time living together, part-time not living together. It depends on where you're at, right? So this is something only you can know. And if you really truly desire, if it's like, oh, that just makes my heart sing so much, thinking about living with someone and spending, really both contributing to one house and creating a beautiful property together and all of that, then cool. Bring that in though. But if you're just sitting there going, oh, I really want to have a relationship, I really wish to have a relationship, it's not going to come because it's too airy-fairy. You're not giving enough direction. Okay? Let me see if I can do 4 and 5 for you. Okay. So the fourth rune. Okay. So the fourth rune represents the sacrifices that will be required of you to be able to have a lovely outcome. Okay. From your third rune, this is your sacrifice. And this is I was. Okay. And it is the yew tree. So the sacrifices that you're going to have to make to be able to have the relationship that you desire is you're going to have to, so the associations with this one are stability, patience, perseverance, endurance, personal power, strength, and initiation. What I'm getting with this one is you're going to have to sacrifice some of what you have, some of the space of protectiveness that you have put around you, and the protectiveness that you've had to have around you due to your past relationships. Okay. So it also means you're going to have to be allowing yourself to not be so stubborn, and also, which is coming into the personal power thing, and also allow yourself to soften. Okay. It's not always about the pain and the hurt. In fact, it's better if you're not expressing the pain and the hurts about previous relationships when you're moving into this new space. So that's the sacrifice to be able to receive the relationship. Okay. And this fifth rune is about, if you sort of follow the stuff that I just said about the fourth rune, this is the new possible outcome. Okay. So smooth. All right, we've got R, which is about ride journey and progress, riding the right order, the right way to proceed, rationality and growth. All right. Outcome. You're going to go for a really good journey. It's going to be a good ride. And this new person will come into your world and will encourage you to get out of the, I don't want to say the rut, but the current pathway that you're on. So that's why I meant by the fourth rune with being stubborn and a little bit like set in your ways. This person is going to shift things around for you a bit, and you're going to have to be flexible to be able to be with this person. And flexible in a way of not dishonoring yourself and not dishonoring your desires at all, because this person will honor you and your desires. It's just that you've, number one, got to be a bit more clear about what you do desire, and then they will be able to match, meet, and potentially provide that for you. So if you'd like to get out and go traveling some more, put that down. Make that part of your desires. Enjoy being out there and meeting people and stuff. Okay? So this is a really interesting one for you. Can you tell me a length of time? No. Because it depends. It depends on you. It depends on a lot of what you're willing to do and be. This is the one I want. This is the one that I want. Oh, You can tell me months. Okay. Cool. They just told me they can tell me months. I've got to use my intuition again. Not that it stops being used when I'm on here. Okay, so how long, given the issue is Melinda's love life, how long till this person comes into her sphere so that she can be aware of him? Okay, they've shown me 6 months. It started to get a bit tingly around 4 months. So between 4 and 6 months, this person's going to start appearing in your world. But, and I say but, it depends on this other work that you require to do. The clarity, making sure you know what you actually desire in a relationship. Because that, if you get together with somebody who's more what I call a self-aware man, they're going to want to know that. Right? They're going to require you to know, what exactly do you wish to have in a relationship? What are you looking for? And you're like, oh, no, just something that's not like my last one. That's not good, because you're just bringing that energy through into the next one, right? So that's pretty cool. Thank you for showing me a new way of playing with the runes. I didn't even know I could do that until today. So that's cool. Yay. Interesting. The boss said when I asked, he didn't think that I was interested in the permanent part-time role. Oh, well, there you go. You got to use your words. See? That's awesome. Thank you so much, Melinda, for playing with me for the runes, and thank you very much for your super kind donation. It's such an honor and a privilege to read for you, and yeah, this is exciting times. There's a lot of really good energies up at the moment, and a lot of very, very supportive energies as well, and a lot of really super abundant stuff going on. And that's like one of the best parts of this whole thing. Your yummy card is heart. Come back to your heart, right? Keep coming back to your heart space, and just know what actually works for you. Be very clear about that. Like I said, a few months ago now, I wrote a deal makers and a deal breakers list. And it's the first time I've ever written a deal breakers list. And I'm so glad I did, because what that did was it gave me the parameters of how to step into the dating world again. That was one of the many things that I've done. But it gave me that parameter of how to work with those dating energies, and the clarity that I've been able to receive from doing things like I said, the list before, of writing a list of what I like about relationship, what I don't like about being in relationship. Those two types of lists are really, really vital, because there's so many ways that we trip ourselves up without even knowing it. You know, like currently, would I desire to live with another person? No, definitely not. I require my own space. Do I still desire to have somebody to snuggle up to? Absolutely. And that's part of this things that I like about being in a relationship, is having that person that you can get into. And also having the ability to have my own space is wonderful, because then I can go off and zone out into my creative land, and it doesn't matter, you know. It's not like it's taking away from that other person, because they then have the freedom to do the things that they love to do, whatever that might be. And there's nothing wrong with having phone calls and things like that too. Still connecting. but in a different way. But that's just me because I'm a very strong, independent woman. You know, been told it's a Sigma trait, apparently. Who knew? There we go. So thank you again, Melinda. Deal makers and deal breakers list. Yeah. So glad, because the thing is, once you get like I've sort of had the deal breakers list in my head for a really long time, but because it was just in my head, I was able to manipulate my way around it. I'd kind of pretend to forget about it, but once you've written it down, it makes it a lot harder. A lot harder to ignore the fact of when somebody comes along and they are trying to impose on your deal breakers list, and it's like, oh, actually no, that just feels wonky. Nah. You might entertain it for like a day or two, but then you'll just go, yeah, nah, that doesn't work for me. Because your little deal breakers list will be sitting there on the side going, hello, remember me? It's hilarious. Alrighty, Tamara, my love, it's your turn. What question do you have for me? Well, I hope, Melinda, that you communicated to your boss that you were interested in the permanent part-time role. Rather than just going, oh, okay. Hi, Ryder. How are you, darling? Ooh, okay. Let's see. See where we go. Okay, which card decks wish to come out and play with Tamara? Just go. I'm pleased to hear that you're doing well, Ryder. That's wonderful. How's your week been? I know there's been a lot of different energies and stuff in the air, so yeah, lots of energy tonight. Lots of wind too. How is the energy affecting you, Ryder? Fabulous. So I'm glad, Melinda, that you did let your boss know that that permanent part-time role would be really good. Another way to communicate that to him is that, you know, if I don't get something like that soon, I may have to look for another job that will, because, you know, they're putting a bit of pressure on me. So it's just something to be aware of that you can kind of use in that way. Ooh, okay, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. Thank you. Sorry, another card deck just went, oh, I want to play too. And I'm like, okay, hang on. we just got to deal with this one first. They all get very excited all of a sudden, and it's just like, oh, okay. Hello, Paul. So, for the next Paul installation, so his nephew Liam is in a school play today at 2 p.m. He got the big part of Romeo. The play is Romeo and Juliet. Cannot wait. So no clowning around today, huh? That's very cute. That is a big role. Lots of dialogue in that one. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Okay, so oh, poor Paul. He's been told he has to behave himself while he's at the play. All right, Tamara, my beautiful one. So you're asking about new moon, solar eclipse messages for you for this week. Now, you've got 2 decks that have come out to play with you too. The first one is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart, okay, by John Holland. And the second one is the Fairy Blessing cards by Lucy Cavendish, okay. I will be reading from the fairy ones because while I could play with them more often, I don't, and there's a lot of information in them too. So, all right. So as far as solar messages and things like that, the first card that you've got is Feeling Alone. All right. Now, initially when I picked this card up and flipped it over, what I saw was you require, when it's, funnily enough, it should be a dark moon, not a new moon. But if you have a look, it's actually partially covered. A nice little eclipse thing going on there. And so with this one, I'm actually getting that at some point, please have some time by yourself. If possible, if at all possible, spend some time with the energies of the eclipse in the early morning, because obviously over your way it will be between 5 and 6 a.m. And with this one, it's get really clear on what you require to let go of. All right. Let it go. There's a lot of water energy in here too, and that's something that's standing out. So be ready to release some emotional stuff and let it go. Let it go up into the energies of the solar, those solar energies. Like just let it go. Let the fire of the sun burn it through your system, and just be really open and raw. Okay. All right. I'll come back to that, Paul. I'm just focusing on tomorrow at the moment. Heart chakra. So you're going to have some really deep heart stuff happening this week. And with that one, while, again, you might feel alone, if you're coming back to your heart, there's actually in this card there's a little cottage way in the background there. I don't know if you can see it. If I get the light. There we go. You can see it in that light. Okay. So there's a little cottage back there. And the cottage actually has a little light on. And what that shows me is that while you might be feeling alone, you're not. The warmth of the hearth is right there, ready and waiting for you when you return. Okay. And the hearth in this case is your heart. Okay. Returning to your heart space and allowing your heart chakra to open, blossom, release. I'm getting a sense of a lot of chains around your heart. So if you could do some meditation work around releasing the chains that have been placed around your heart space and around your heart chakra, things are going to open up for you in a really beautiful way. Because currently, and these are the energies that you require to focus on so that you can let go of for this eclipse time. Okay, this next card is to do with that. This feeling of being helpless and hopeless. And interestingly, as I look at this card in particular, what I see is these steps, which you might think, oh, okay, they're steps. I actually see them like wings. And it's almost like you've forgotten that you have wings. You've forgotten, like the way I can see it, these hills here and these steps are actually creating your wings. Okay. And bye, Liam. Little nephew was watching for a second. He's like, what the fuck are you watching? That's cool. He doesn't need to see it. So your wings are there. Don't forget you've got them. Okay, your ability to fly and to create anything that you desire is all right there. So dig down for the solar eclipse and just pluck out those spots where this energy of helplessness and hopelessness is sitting in your system and get it out. Release it up to the solar, release it to the new moon if that's preferred. This is something that has to move out of your system while you're in this space. Okay. Because you're not helpless and hopeless. Not at all. I'm looking forward to this next card. All right. So I'm just going to read this and see what else comes out. Okay. Enjoy story time. So this is a blessing of fairy magic. Look at that. Isn't it just so freaking gorgeous? The fairy gift of enchantment from the realm of the Fae. Fairy magic is a blessing to us all, and in truth, you work with it without even knowing much of the time. When this gift of fairy magic comes to you, there will be a sense that whatever you touch has a spark of magic to it, a little extra life force flowing through the fingers, a little extra depth in the way you see the world, a little extra tastiness to the food you eat, and a little extra kindness to you every day. Let whatever magic you decide to create have the blessing of the Fae, so your words and your actions, your wishes and your dreams begin to merge, one into the other, until the inner world is mirrored by the outer world, and you feel you are creating what you desire in your life and aligning closer and closer and closer with the lunar cycles, the solar cycles, and the growing times. Being that we're in spring, I'm not surprised. And the harvest. Come closer to the budding and the blooming and to the fall of leaf and the work within these energies so that what you wish for has its truest chance of actualizing into the world of nature. The natural world is alive and humming with fiery magic, and now this blessing is offered to you as a co-creation, a ceremony, a desire made action, a blessing that is enacted. You are a blessed child of the Fae, and they offer you now their magic. Into the natural world so that you too can know the gift of the touch that brings life to the world. Blessings of fairy magic to you, friend. So the other thing that I get with this is there's a beautiful sense of sisterhood here. Okay. So don't be surprised if this week you're feeling like that desire to reach out to somebody who's special to you. Okay, somebody that you can feel like you can co-create magic with. Because there's a lovely energy there with these two ladies. Okay. And your last card, last-ish card. All right. Now, I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually seen this card before. So this is really cool. This is a blessing of the Elflocks, a fairy gift to help you sense their presence and detect their signs. Oh, wow. The gift of the Elflocks is the gift of the fairy's presence being made known in your life. That explains why I was feeling that. Form and structure. The way that you see the world is going to change really significantly over this next few days. How you see yourself in the world, how you see the world in general, it's going to be a big shift. And with that, don't be surprised if you have a moment where your eyesight goes really blurry for a moment. And I mean just a moment, like maybe 30 seconds to a minute. And then you'll blink it and it'll be like, oh. And things will look different. Okay? Keep a lookout for that because that's the sign that this card is being enacted. In the days gone by, children who awoke with tangled hair from dreams of fairies were said to have been visited by the fae in their sleep, their hair tangled by the fairies themselves. And horses in the field who'd been ridden by the fae at night would be found with mysterious plaits and locks tangled with flowers. The blessing of the Elflocks, therefore, is the gift of the fairies' presence made tangible in your life. This could take the form of small gifts, offerings from the fae, or the appearance and disappearance of small objects in your home if you have invited the fairy into your home. It is often said that the fairies steal objects or play tricks. I find this is rarely so. It is more that an object requires cleansing and will be returned to you when it is clear once again, or its work has been done in the other realm. Evidence of their presence. To know that for sure that they are here with you and within the world, and once experienced, they can no longer be denied or dismissed as fantasy. And when we have that experience, we are changed forever. For we know that what many think is unreal and is as true and real as sunshine, flowers, clean water, and the smiles of children. It is a blessing of the proof of their presence, fairy friend. So there's some really cool energies in there. Like I said, as soon as I started doing your reading, I was getting these bars here going off, and which is points for some energetic healing stuff for those that don't know what bars are. And I was like, what? Which one's that? Oh, it's form, and that's when I realized it's the form and structure. And so your form and structure of your life is going to feel quite different by the end of the week. All right. Let's do your runes. All right. So the runes are the energies of this one are the issue is Tamara's love life. Let's have a look. Woohoo. I can hold them in one hand, just. Apparently, Paul woke up with the song In the Name of Love in his head. Just bear with me while I find these runes for you. Tamara says, I've been working towards it for a while now, looking forward to our session together tomorrow. Yes, me too. I'm looking forward to it as well. See, I'd never reveal that. I wouldn't reveal that as part of like just going, oh, guess what? I'm having a session tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. But if you say so first, that's cool. Alrighty. Thank you for your patience while I work through this. All right. So interesting. Your first rune is about the past. Okay. This isn't the interesting part. The interesting part is your first rune was Melinda's fourth rune, fifth rune, whichever. It was near the other end of hers. You got the ride journey rune. Oops, let me put it up the right way. Which is about progress, writing the right order, the right way to proceed, rationality and growth. So this is basically saying, hey, you've been on one hell of a journey. This is where you've been in the past. You've had a lot of stuff going on in your world, and it shows. It shows because where you're at now, you are very well experienced and well-rounded in your knowledge of what works for you and what doesn't work for you anymore. And that comes through with the right order, the right way to proceed. It's like you've done a lot of the wrong way in the past, and I don't mean wrong. What I mean by that one is that you have learned through experience what not to do. Okay. And that shows. It shows. I've done a lot of the same. I've learned through experience, right? And sometimes those experiences rolled around a few times before I got, oh, this is not the right way. This isn't the best way forward. It's like, what am I not getting here? So that's what's happened in the past. Okay. And of course, I remember you too, Paul. My goodness gracious. Thank you for thinking I'm so young that I wouldn't know who you two were. The challenges currently, as far as relationships and stuff goes. So you've been on a hell of a journey, just internally, professionally, relationship-wise, intimately. There's been a big journey for you, and you've learned a lot. Okay, so this one is the beacon torch, creativity, awakening, growth, opening, self-knowledge and vision. So this is the issue currently, right? Funny how you guys both ended up with the similar ones there. it's also the opposing forces that are acting on the issue, or what exactly the issue is currently the present. So if we look at this, as far as a relationship goes, so again, you have to get really clear. A lot of what I was saying to Melinda before is relevant to you too. Get really clear on on what it is that you actually truly desire and what you don't desire. What pisses you off, what makes you happy. Bye, Paul. Have a great weekend. Have fun at the theatre. And good luck to Liam. Good luck to your nephew with his role. And Tamara, you said you did do a lot of wrong ways. Isn't it great when we can look back and laugh about the things that we chose in the past, right? So this one here is about having really clear vision. That's what the issue is at the moment. Again, it's this vision stuff, right? You've grown a lot, but there's still a little bit of growth to do around feeling more stable, safe, secure within yourself, so that when you do get out there, you can be way more discerning with what you're choosing and not get sucked into that old paradigm anymore. The things that have kept you bringing in those old energies, it's time to let all of that go. All right. So that's part of what that one is saying. The next three are all from Hagar. Oh dear. So Paul just said, Liam just said, did she just say my name? Wow, she's cool. Oh, Liam, you get out there and knock their socks off with your awesome acting, okay, dude? Because I used to tread the boards a bit myself and back in my young days. So enjoy, have the best time, and just be fabulous. All right. Bye, Liam. Bye, Paul. All right. The next rune from you, Miss Tamara, is, like I said, it's from Hagar. And it is this rune here. And this third rune is about the possible outcomes. So if you get really clear and you've got you know where you're going, like you've done your hard yards, you've done your hard training, it's like now's the time to get really clear on the vision of what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. This is the possible outcome, okay? So this one here, again, it's Jera, which is about the cycle of a year: reward, gain, fruition, fruitful season, plenty, cycles of nature, peace and happiness. So if you get really clear, if you know what your deal makers and deal breakers lists are, if you know what you love about relationship, what you don't love about a relationship, if you get really honest with yourself about what relationship dynamics will work for you, even down to things like, do you wish to have somebody in your world that has kids? Do you wish to have somebody that doesn't? Do you wish to have somebody, maybe they do have kids, but maybe they're grown up kids? It comes down to things like drugs, alcohol, smoking. Are they spiritually inclined? Do they have, just there's so many things that we can look at that goes, actually, do you know what? That doesn't work for me. I do not ever wish to be with somebody who's avoidant, who's a man child ever again. Like, I've done my time with man children, with those people who wish to be controlling rather than controlled, as in controlling themselves. Like, man children try to be controlling, and have things only their way. But a self-aware man will have control over themselves first and foremost, and have a very protective energy about them that can then give the woman in their world support. And like that dynamic is something that you have to ask for, right? And that comes down to whether they're particularly crystal clear. Okay. So you have to be crystal clear about what you wish to have, and also understand what that means for you. So, for example, from a perspective of someone who has had a high masculinity ratio for a long, long time, to have a man come into my world who is very masculine, who knows themselves really super well, who has that self-control, who is able to be that protective space, they won't necessarily find a woman who's in her high masculinity particularly attractive. What they wish to have is somebody who's in their feminine, who's more balanced with their feminine, who's able to be strong enough to challenge them a little bit, because you can both challenge each other, in that she won't be run roughshod over either. Because that's the other thing about a strong masculine, divine masculine, however the fuck you want to call it, a self-aware masculine man, they won't be particularly attracted when they are in their balanced version of themselves. They won't necessarily be attracted to somebody who is unbalanced feminine, because it's not attractive, right? It's kind of like us talking about boy men child, if you prefer. You know, there's girls that are just like, oh, well, I just can't do anything for myself. You know, they're not going to be attracted to that either. So you often find those self-aware men will just kind of sit back and observe, rather than they'll wait to see if somebody actually sparks them the right way, and then they'll come forward. All right, sacrifices. Are you ready? All right, so you got this one, which is Nouthies. And this is meaning necessity, constraint, resistance, need, caution, delays, conflict, and the will to overcome. So your sacrifice to be able to get out there and welcome somebody in who you're truly desiring, you're going to have to release from your world the points of views and the belief systems that are holding you back from having that. They're things that you have kept, that have helped to keep you safe up until now, but they are actually belief systems that are not actually helping you anymore. They may have helped you in the past because you were in a trauma situation, but moving forward, so that's a big yes, because that was a burp. So this is something that's going to help as you release the stuff and the resistance and like that stubbornness, which often comes along with being in a highly masculine space as a woman. There's a lot of resistance, right? It's my way. I'm the only person that can do this. It's that hyper vigilance and hyper independence that is going to have to release. You're going to have to be open to receiving from others, especially men. if that's what you're going for. I'm imagining that you're trying to get a man, but we must not assume these things. A healthy partner to come into your world. You're going to have to let go of that. You're going to have to let go of the control, and you're going to have to let go of being a pedantic wench. You're going to have to be a hell of a lot more flexible. Yes, a glorious masculine man. And we've got to be the right fertile soil. We've got to be that little bit of the right resistance, as in, the polarities of, you can't put two of the same polarity together, right? You've got to have you've got to have the opposites. You've got to have your yin and your yang. You got to have that little bit of the yin and the yang, and you got to have the little bit of the yang and the yin. But overall, you've got to have the balanced version of both to come together in a healthy way. Now, the problem with men children is that they're being too feminine. And then the thing is that we've attracted men children into our world because we're being too masculine. Makes sense, right? Because it's all about the balance. The universe will continue to do that until you let go. Until you kind of go, actually, being in my masculine's no longer working for me. And for a lot of women, and I'm not saying that this is true for you, but a lot of women, that masculinity comes out as narcissism and dominance. And it's not pleasant. It's not nice to be around. So, and if it's not that, it's control freak. I wouldn't know anything about that. All right. Your fifth one is is if you follow what I've just said, and your fourth. This is your possible outcome. All right. And this one here is vessel and cup, which is about change, hidden information, truths, and secrets. Okay. So what you will get out of this whole dynamic is you're going to receive a hell of a lot of change, and you've got to be willing to change. Okay. And that, when we are sitting in those heavy masculine energies as women, what happens is we get really resistant to change. And that resistance is what holds us back from being able to welcome in this, as you said, a glorious masculine man into your world. As an energy healer, I know that this is something that you're probably more familiar with than most, is the fact of when you come across a client who is saying all the right things but not following through. That can be it's like talking the talk but not walking the walk. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying here, is that this is going to be the outcome of your truths. Your truths, your secrets, everything. You will not be able to ignore them because the proof is in the pudding. If you don't deal with this, you're not going to receive your beautiful, glorious masculine man. If you don't bring your feminine up and allow that to shine, he can't come in. But if you do, he will. Yay! Oh, wow. So that was fun. That was heaps of fun. Cool. And we know that you've got to come back to your heart. And let's do your yummy card. You're lucky I can read sarcasm. Oh, dear. I must thank my family for that. Their love language is sarcasm. Open-hearted. Truly, Tamara, this is why the things that are rolling around at the moment are rolling around for you. Okay? And it is time. The heart, the feminine, the journey, the everything. That's why it's there for you. Super cool times. I'm really excited for you because there's so much that you can bring into your world as you welcome this balanced energy into you. Of course. You said, interestingly enough, helping women reclaim their feminine is life purpose work for me. Yes, because the thing is, everything that we do, we receive as well. And if you're not, then you're in the wrong bloody industry, right? So it came up in a conversation today, actually, around back 10 years ago. It was identified that I was not receiving very well at all. Not from men, not from women, but it was at the start of my deep dive into this realm, this world, the energy healing, everything. And when I reflect back now, into where I was at then, all this stuff that I've just been talking about, I see that so clearly now, where I wasn't even willing to receive from a friend who was going to buy me a drink when we were on a conference. I wasn't even willing to receive that. I'd done, and she was a friend / she was the lady I was working for. Why wouldn't I receive from her? I'd done lots and lots of things for her for free. And when she offered to buy me a drink, I said, oh, no, you don't have to do that. So rude. So arrogant. Such a massive reflection of where I was not willing to receive at that point. And her response to that was very jarring. It was brilliant. It was jarring, and it was just what I needed. What I required at that time. To have that moment of just being basically slapped energetically across the face and going, what the do you think you're doing right now? You know? So the universe works in mysterious ways. And now I'm in a place where I can literally think about what I require and what I desire. And it comes. And it's coming very quickly now. There has been some there's been some interesting moments in my world over this last week where I've been like tuning in, and suddenly things are just going plopping into place. It's like, whoa, how the hell did that happen? And it's about following the energy. When we're in our divine feminine, like in our balanced, self-aware feminine energy, following our intuition becomes so easy. It's scary initially because it is so fucking easy. You said, I'm going to run a 30-day program of feeling safe and integrating the feminine energy, so I have no choice but to show up and do the work with those that join me on the journey. Fabulous. Yes, when the teacher is getting taught. Yeah, it's big. It's big. So wish you lots of luck with that one. Thank you for your very kind donation. I'm so grateful for you. And thank you for coming to play. It's an honor to have you here. It truly, truly is. So I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's like I went from a space of when I first landed in Australia, and the irony is that I went into a pretty much fully female dominated industry of childcare, and then into disability care where it was mostly women there too. Even at that time, I felt like women were all out to get me, that I couldn't trust them, that they would just bitch and backstab, and they were just nasty fucking creatures. And that was why I chose a male dominated industry for, from the point when I left high school until I moved here. There was a couple of little forays into other industries very briefly, back in my very early 20s. But other than that, no, I was in the male industry, male dominated building industry. And I didn't see a lot of examples where women weren't awful to each other. And so when I went on my big feminine journey back in 2019, 2020, which was 18 months long, it was such a deep uncovering of all the ways that I had hurt myself along the way, with my points of views and my belief systems that I'd picked up from my mom, my grandmother, society, the men that I used to work with. Like, how many men do you meet that go, oh my God, women are just such manipulative bitches? And it's like, they're not wrong. And also they've attracted that too. So there is that. But, it's just within also the realms of the 3D world, in a lot of ways, we've had to be. Doesn't excuse the behavior. But as we move closer and closer into the 5D realm, what happens is that transparency becomes really important. And on both parts, transparency of thoughts, feelings, emotions, heart, spirit, all the things. There's a lot of conversation that happens. But within the conversation, there's the awareness of energy. And that's pretty fucking cool. So as we're transitioning through into the 5D, as you guys know, I firmly believe we are no longer in 3D anymore. We are in 4D, which is where everybody's dealing with their emotions at the moment. And it's tough work. Welcome to my world, rest of the world. Oh my God. All right, let's do something a little bit fun for everybody. Let's hide that one, maybe. Thank you. All right. We're going to do the expanding out exercise, and we're going to do poetry. So those who are floating around can do some poetry with us. Okay? Because I love it. Okie dokie. Awesome. All right. So everybody close your eyes. Take a big deep breath in, right down to the bottom of your belly. And breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. And as your breathing continues at a nice, easy, steady rate, become aware of your body, become aware of your breath. Become aware of how your body is positioned. Become aware of the air around you. And now expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the building that you're in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth, expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the country that you're on, expanding out your awareness out beyond the size of the planet, out beyond the size of the solar system, out beyond the size of the galaxies, and now out beyond the size of the universes. Beautiful. And now focusing on your body, grab your sense of allowance and expand that out in a big bubble all around you. Remembering that your sense of allowance takes you from being the tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of a raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and makes you so spacious that you're like a big, beautiful, fluffy cloud. And this cloud is just floating along, and it observes that raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and you see it for exactly what it is. It's just energy. And as this big, beautiful, fluffy cloud, you have the ultimate choice and place of peace within you to choose to play in that river or just float on by and just let it be. So now as you expand out your allowance, out beyond the building that you're in, beyond the country, beyond the planet, beyond the solar system, beyond the galaxies, beyond the universes, and beyond your awareness. Take a big deep breath in and breathing out. Just feel your body relax. If there's been any pressure or stress in your system, allow that to move out of your body now. And now for this week to come, considering we've got all these lovely moon and solar energies and changing of seasons with the star signs, etc. Truth. What number between and including 1 and 88 would give you the greatest insights for this week to come? Pop that into the chat now. Alrighty. Thank you, Tamara. Alrighty. So you got realization. Why is it that when a person loves another, that they can't see the obvious, that the other isn't feeling the same way? The hurt for the person is unbearable. And when they finally realize, they feel stupid that they just didn't see. But it's so much worse when it carries on for a long time. The person is denying the inevitable and falling deeper into the trap called heartache. This is about, Tamara, you releasing your old hurts. This is bringing up the energies for your session tomorrow. But also it's the stuff around, you know, when we go into the mental gymnastics of going, why didn't I see? Whoa. And we use the why question a lot. And it's not overly helpful to ask why. Which is funny because it's the first word of the poem is why. This here is talking in regards to you and the energies and what's moving through for you is around finding that place, like, and digging down, getting that shit out of your system. And those old heartaches, those old traumas out, just get them out, get them gone, because they're really no longer serving you. Yes, they did once serve you. They served you in a way of going, okay, we just need to have some time to ourselves. Thank you. And so we're going to put lots of protections up here. We're going to make sure that nothing and no one can come in. And if they do, it's very temporary. But it's now time to let that stuff go. And to recognize that you are much, much wiser around love and relationships and yourself than you ever were before. And it's going to feel different in your guts. In the deeper parts of your belly, it's going to feel different. And you're going to feel different. And that's a beautiful thing. Okay. Mwah. Thank you, darling. Next. Oh dear. Sorry, I just read what I wrote at the bottom. This one's called My Pledge. You're welcome, Tamara. You're welcome. My pleasure. So, Melinda, 48 for you. My pledge. As another day draws to a close, you're near me, telling me that you love me, reassuring me that you'll never leave for something minute. And one day I hope I'll believe. And when that day comes, that'll be when I'm ready to commit to you forever. And I've read it just like that. Bye-bye, tomorrow. Have a lovely sleep. Reflection. So, Melinda, again, this is going back to what your reading was talking about. Looking at those old things that you ignored, where you had your little blinkers on, and where things seemed to be lovey-dovey, but if you were looking at the energy of it, you can realize that you did see where you were not being as honest with yourself. It's so easy when we can just sit back and blame the other person for the choices. At the end of the day, we've also got equal part to play, yeah? And it takes two to tango. So this is about, again, looking at those spaces where we can be kind and loving, but it's with your eyes wide open. There are no blinkers here anymore. And so this is about being really, really open to all of, and being brutally honest with yourself so that you can dig down and find those things that you really love about yourself, relationship, all that sort of stuff. Take those blinkers off, let yourself see the whole picture. Okay? And the reason why I said that is more so for the little bit at the bottom. It says, do you ever have those moments when you look back and go, get out while you still can? Oh dear. So yes. Hi, Carl. I've done that. I've shouted you out. Welcome. Yes, I can see you. I can see your little comment. Thank you. So yeah, this poem isn't all bad at all. It's just that's what's coming through. It's like that extra little layer of not being sucked in by pretty words, and that moment of just going, yeah, no, I did know. That's why I didn't feel like I could commit to this person, because I knew energetically something was wrong here. I knew it wasn't right for me, and yet I still stuck around. I chose that. And for that, I have to take responsibility for that for myself. I chose that. Oh my God. All right. Fun times. Fun times. Did I finish my tea? Yes, I did. Let me have a little drink of water. Thank you, Melinda, for coming to play. You got some work to do, my darling. You got to write some lists. Where are you from, Carl? Where are you tuning in from? Love to know. I have my Australian crew in house at the moment. I have to say I miss Tony being our New Zealand crew. She was so lovely. I miss her. I know she still floats around a little bit. She's still in life review right now, though. But yeah, every time I get this pendulum out, that's one of her beads. That's one of the ones that she created with. And I love that I put it on this one here, the rose quartz pendulum, because I got that in New Zealand while I was over there. So she still gets to be here, in spirit, in energy. But yes, I miss her. And certainly her passing is, it's had a big flow and effect for me, to not hold back. Not hold back in how I approach people anymore. Still be wise and discerning, but to have the courage to do the things that are hard, to do the things that are challenging. Especially, like, there's one thing that I chose to do this week that I knew was going to make some big changes in my world, and I could feel that. And at the same time, I was scared. I was scared of what that would mean for me as I go forward in life. But I also knew that it was important to do it just then and at the right time. I had everything. I'd been doing readings up the wazoo. And for those of you who know me well, you know that I don't tend to do a hell of a lot of readings for myself, unless I'm playing with something new like runes. But even the runes were saying it. Readings other people were giving me were saying it. Readings I was doing for myself were saying it. My internal body pendulum was saying it. And I'm like, okay. And it was almost like it was so positive that I was waiting for the moment when I got a reading or an indication or an awareness that it wasn't, so that I could get out of it. And in the end, I just went, oh, okay, use your intuition, use your thing. Like even my spirit team was saying, stop overthinking this. Just do it. Like, okay, but I'm scared. They're like, it's okay, you'll be fine. And I'm like, but. So I still say a big thank you to Tony and to a couple of other people who've been floating around, for giving me the energetic kick up the bum to make the most of my life. And I hope that that's a message that you guys get too from Tony being with us for as long as she was, is make the most of your life while you've got it, because you just never fucking know when it's going to end. You just don't know. And that's message that's come through very, very loud and clear over the last, 3 or 4 months. For me personally, from different avenues. Make the most of it. Sunday's a good time to do those lists. Yes. And releasing that stuff that's no longer serving you. Alrighty. Just tapping in now to these energies of what's going to create the most for the collective, for those with this healing meditation. There's so many different options that are floating around right now. That's so funny. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Where we're going to go today and the energies that I see coming up. We've talked a lot about balanced masculine, feminine energies today. And being self-aware and letting go of the stuff that's no longer serving you. And what I am being guided to do is a meditation around that. We will go up to theta, the 7th plane. And while we're up there, we're going to be led in a cleansing ceremony by a powerful, potent two. There's a man and a woman. They are asking to come forward. I wonder if they're in. Oh, they're in here. Okay, hang on a second. I'm just going to see if I can pull them out of here just quickly so that we can. So yes, they are going to be taking us through a cleansing ceremony. And hi, Namara. You come to the bestest part of our show. We're about to go into a healing meditation. So just bear with me. I'm finding this other being because I get the sense that they're both in here. Gotta find them though. So this cleansing ceremony is going to help with removing removing the things that are no longer serving you and allowing you to have. Where is he? Where's the guy? Oh, he's not here. Okay. Okay, there's a man and a woman. And what I'm getting with these two is I'm seeing them in this present moment as like American Indian in origin. However this man and woman show up for you is going to be perfect for you. Okay. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Namara. Or Namira. Sorry about that, for getting that wrong. So this space that we're going to be going into, if you can imagine these two American Indian elders or healers, as the case may be, they are the ones that are going to be doing this for you. With this, they're also going to be working with your spirit team, and your spirit team is going to come in and around you to help support you. And your spirit team will stay with you, as they always are anyway, but you may feel them a little bit more over this weekend, especially with this new moon energies and the eclipse energies and all of that popping up. All right. So this is about bringing balance back to your masculine and feminine sides. If you're a female, then it's about bringing the feminine up so that you're actually strong and confident in your feminine. And if you're a male, then it will be bringing your male side up so that you can be strong and confident in your masculine. So many women are very, very strong in their masculine, and it makes them very angry because they don't wish to be strong in their masculine. And so that's where we're bringing this balance back to everything. Okay. Funny that I just did that in reverse. So masculine is on your right, your feminine is on your left. Just for those of you who don't know. All right. A little bit too much salt in my water today. Maybe I required it. All right. So we'll do a quick expanding out. Oh, actually, do I need to? No. All right. Cool. Let's go to theta. Okay. the interesting thing is we've actually got the energies of a very potent goddess with us while we're doing this. And she has asked to come out to play. And it's Hecate. Who would have guessed? I've not worked with Hecate a hell of a lot. In fact, not really any of this lifetime. But she has decided to come out for us. So the energies of the goddess Hecate will be with us today as well. So she's incredible. She's all about healing, working with life and death and stuff like that too. So how privileged are we today? All right. Closing your eyes now. Big deep breath in. And out. And now imagine that there is a bright white opalescent light shining into your heart. Moving down your body, through your legs, through your feet, down into the center of Mother Earth. Moving up through the center of Mother Earth, all the way up through the crystalline layers, all the way up through your body. Up through the crown, where it creates a big bubble above your head. Now imagine that you're inside that bubble. And now the bubble floats up higher and higher through the golden light and through the rainbow jelly light clouds, through the pink misty clouds, and up through the big opening above you where bright white opalescent light is streaming through. And this bright white opalescent light invites you in. So you move through that doorway. Until you're completely surrounded by the bright white opalescent light. Take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, the bubble around you dissolves. And you might feel like you're standing underneath the sun right now. And the sun's warm rays of unconditional love are shining down all over you. As you breathe in, that unconditional love is now moving in through your body, through every cell and molecule of your body. And this is true unconditional love of universe, of creator, whatever you'd like to call it. It is, and I say it's true because it is the unconditional love with no rules, no boundaries, no obligations, no projections, no expectations of you. It is your choice to receive it. If you're wise, you will. Just as an FYI. But it doesn't care what you've been in the past. It doesn't care what choices or thoughts you've had. It doesn't care what you've been or done today or what you will do in the future. It's there to love and support and nourish and nurture you in whatever way you show up here in the seventh plane of Theta. And just another little breath, another lovely big deep breath. Bringing in that unconditional love through every cell in your body, relaxing your arms, relaxing your back. As you breathe out, any energies that are already ready to leave are able to leave now too. As you breathe in more unconditional love, filling up all the spaces and places and dark bits inside you, you can release all those points of views and belief systems that are no longer working for you. Okay, And now imagine in front of you that there is a big, big forest with long, long old world trees growing up into the canopy. You can hear the wind rushing through the trees, and you can perceive that the trees are talking to each other with every sway of their branches. And as they creak and groan, and you can finally hear, see, and perceive the beauty and the communion of every single tree in the forest as it moves and sways in the breeze. And as you observe the ground, it's almost like you have X-ray vision, where you can see the energy moving along the ground, through the roots, through the mycelium, moving the nourishment up the roots, through the trunk, heading it out to the leaves, any flowers or buds or fruit or nuts. You see the exchange of energy from the tree to the earth and from the earth to the trees. And then you see equally the exchange of energy between each of the trees and how they naturally keep things in balance through life and death, how they make space for new growth by toppling over every now and then, where even in death, the cells of the previously living tree then get converted back into energy that nourishes the soil and nourishes the trees around it, as well as any other plants and bugs and mold and all the stuff from top to bottom. And as you marvel at this beautiful forest of trees, this thick, lush growth, you start to notice something around you. You see little floating lights. You think, oh, was that just something out the corner of my eye? Was it a trick of the light? And you hear the tinkling of the fae. You feel the whispers of their wings on your arms and on your cheek. And they're letting you know that your perception of them and the ability to receive their magic and their contribution to you is so much closer now than it ever was before. As you continue to walk through the forest, you come to a big, beautiful open clearing. And in that clearing, you see a fire pit gently blazing away. And this fire pit is ringed in stones. And out further than the fire pit are some big logs that you can sit on. Or you can have the choice to sit on the ground if you wish to be closer to the ground. But given what we know about the movement of energy between trees and the earth, it's not necessary to sit on the earth, on the ground, in the dirt, or on the grass. You can sit on the log and still receive a beautiful healing. Just on the outer ring of these logs, you see two American Indian beings, a male and a female. They are the most respected elders, the most respected healers. They have seen everything, and they have seen all the growth and the progression of their tribe. And they welcome you in and invite you to take a seat by the fire. And as you do so, and you look up, you see in a ring beyond that is your spirit team, smiling gently at you, and allowing you to perceive them in all of them in their forms that they come through to you in. Your spirit team can be made up of ancestors, it can be made up of friends, it can be made up of beings that you haven't met in this lifetime yet. It can be made up of angels, it can be made up of wizened ones who are here to help you. And of course, one of those beings is your higher self. Your higher self is never very far. Even though sometimes it feels like you're disconnected from them. They aren't. That's just an interesting point of view. You've taken your time to respectfully acknowledge your spirit team, to respectfully acknowledge these two American Indian elders. They now move to the north point and the south point with you in the center. You and the fire in the center. They have with them all the various tools that they require to help channel energy, to help you release the points of views, the belief systems that are preventing you from returning to a balanced version of you. For the women, it's where your feminine is playing a greater role. And for the men, it's allowing the men, male masculine, to come up and play a greater role in your life. The male healer has with him the smoking sticks. He has with him his staff, And on that staff has rattles. And with the hand that has the smoking sticks also has feathers so that he can waft the smoke over to you, helping to smoke out the old energies, the old belief systems. The woman healer has with her a gourd that holds water. And this water has certain oils that are designed and picked especially for you. You may, throughout this healing, get a sense of what those oils are. You may even smell them in real time. And she has upon her wrist a bracelet which has chimes on it, different to her male counterpart, to bring different energies to deal with the feminine aspects of your healing today. Between them, they will help to clear all your chakra centers, to bring back balance. They now start to move in a counterclockwise way around you, around the fire. And as they move, they start chanting. They move in a way that is respecting you, respecting where you're at, respecting this process, respecting the earth, respecting the sky, respecting Mother Nature, the beings of the north, south, east, and west, and all these others in between. They call on and respectfully ask for the contribution of all the gods and goddesses, including Hecate, to assist in this healing and clearing today. The smoke wafts over your body, and you may feel some uncomfortable energies moving out of your system right now. If your body wishes to move, please allow it to move. It's a sign that these energies are ready to leave. You'll hear the rattle sounds. It's very rhythmic. You'll hear the lady, the woman healer. She's harmonizing with the man healer. And as the healing continues and the smoke is moving from your feet, swirling around your feet, there'll be bright white opalescent light swirling around your feet too. And the bright white opalescent light starts to move up through your cells and molecules. These two beautiful healers are holding space for you while you let go of the things that are holding you back from your most desired life, from the balance of your masculine and feminine energies, or the things that are holding you back from feeling confident within yourself. This energy moves up through your calves, through your knees, through your thighs. The smoke is literally smoking out any entities or any attachments that have come into your system through your auric fields or your chakra centers. The smoke is moving all of those out as well. It is working in conjunction with the bright white opalescent light of Creator of the seventh plane. Moving up through your pelvis, all your reproductive organs, removing from your system any negative energies that have been stuck in your reproductive system from previous partners. Moving out any energies through your belly, through your chest, through your heart space. All the times where you felt heartache and heartbroken and put up walls and barriers so that nobody can ever hurt you in that same way again. All of that is being removed so that you can be open to being wiser and more discerning and more spacious and feel safe within yourself. And you now can trust yourself to know when something doesn't feel right. The beautiful bright white light and the smoking energy, the smoke is now moving down through your shoulders, through your arms, your hands, to your fingertips, so that you may feel with your hands in a physical way what feels right and know what feels not for you. The smoke now moves up through your throat and your neck, through your jaw, your gums, your teeth, your lips, your tongue, your nose, your eyes, your cheeks, your forehead, your ears, through your subconscious and conscious mind, all the way through the crown. And the smoke has also helped remove any and all energies, belief systems, entities, whatever, out of your auric fields and all of your other chakras as well. This is old healing and old knowledge of healing. So you can be in balance not only with your masculine and feminine energies, but also the masculine and feminine energies of Mother Earth, of Father Sky. And in doing so, they are pausing. The song is still happening. Your team is holding space around you. And now you see The male and the female healer come together with you in the center. The energy that is between them is like a tuning fork. The closer they come together, the brighter and the louder this energy feels and then sounds. Keep breathing. Nice and low. And now as you gently lower onto the log, because you were once floating, you are so free of all of those outdated and toxic belief systems and energies that were no longer serving you, that you are literally floating between them. And now your body, as it touches that log, and your hands rest beside you, you feel the truth of balance between the masculine and feminine. You perceive how energy moves, shifts, and changes all around you. And as the healers close up the ceremony, there is a specific tone that they and your team are now emitting, humming if you like. And your body responds to that, knowing the truth of it. And this tone is to help you recognize that when you are out of balance, this tone is going to feel off inside of you. If your ears start ringing a weird way, this is going to be one of the ways that your body will indicate to you that you're off balance. And the louder they get, shines a brightness all around you. And you see this brightness and all the beautiful colors that it is. This is to show you that if your eyes go a little bit wonky and you put it down to, oh, it's aging, what if it's not? What if it's where you're not in balance? What if that's what this is to tell you? And now the team comes in closer. And the American Indian healers step away. Their job is done. Your team is now here to take over and support you through this transition. In this space, in this moment, you may see some family members that you never thought you'd see again. Enjoy that moment of connection with them once more. And now, as you feel the love all around you, the logs disappear, the fire disappears. You look back over to the forest and you see the fairy all over there, waving excitedly at you. And you can see them crystal clear now. You feel their energy. You look over and your team has fallen to the background. And right in front of you is Hecate. Hecate now places a symbol or a gift into your hands or onto your head, depending on what you require. She may just place a finger onto your forehead and give you the energy symbol that way. She may place it into your hands. Wherever she gives you her gift, it's perfect for you. And with a very wizened smile, she departs, knowing that her job is done too. And now it is time to leave this place, this beautiful place, this place of love, of unconditional love and instantaneous healing. Knowing that you are freer now than you've ever been before in this lifetime. That you can now make choices from a place of confidence and knowing and beautiful self-awareness. We place our hands on our hearts and we say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for assisting me today in moving these energies out of my body. Now we float back through, out of the seventh plane, down through the pink misty clouds, down through the rainbow jelly-like clouds, back to your body, where everything that you've just been through integrates instantaneously. And now imagine that you're underneath a big, beautiful crystalline waterfall, and the waterfall's over and through your body, washing away any other little fragments that are of energies that are ready to go. Now stepping out onto a big warm river rock, you feel the warmth of Mother Earth underneath your feet. Taking a big deep breath in, and now a big breath out. Another big deep breath in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. And a big breath out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. And when you're ready, please open your eyes. Feel free, please, to drink some water. Have a little salt, because you'll require the salt to help your brain settle after the healing that you've done today. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your gift of presence, of your wisdom. It's an honor to be here with you, to share with you, to share space with you. Over this week to come, please get out there, do something tasty for yourself. And in the meantime, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.